Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And we're Group T. We'd like to begin by introducing each of us. My name is Hafiz. I'm from Brunei.
My name is Virawan, but you can call me Taki. I'm from Indonesia.
My name is Rita, but you can call me Dao. I'm from Thailand.
My name is Yukiko Nikina from Japan.
Our team members come from several different ASEAN countries, but one common issue between all the countries is poverty. I personally come from Brunei, which has a poverty rate of 5%. Although that does not seem like a lot, it's still an issue, as quite a significant number of people rely on government assistance, which in the long run is unsustainable. To Taki's home country of Indonesia, the poverty rate has risen to a peak of 28 million people, so that's a widespread problem. And this issue is also prominent in Dao's country of Thailand. Japan, on the other hand, has a poverty rate of 16%, which is relative, but one of the highest amongst developed countries. We currently live in a world of rapid development, and a large part of that is thanks to our advancements in technology, like the internet. With access to this technology, we're able to reap its many benefits, but for communities and areas that have little to no access to this technology, their development and overall growth would severely be limited. The digital divide, which is the separation between those with and without technology, would only widen further. And our greatest concern comes from the fact that the most impacted group among all this will be the youth, our future generations. And that is why we're going to focus primarily on that group of people. Our target demographic consists of people around the age of 12 to 18. And this is because they will eventually become our future generation, and they will be a large part of the economic driving force in our society. But currently, a lot of young people are simply just lost in their direction, academically and in life in general. The people in the communities we're targeting are also disadvantaged because they lack resources and technology, and this ultimately forced a lot of young people back into the vicious cycle of poverty. This graph shows that countries with more access to technology have a higher percentage of students continuing to higher education. As you can see, the positive correlation. And this leads to our vision. We envision a world where poverty is eradicated by making education more accessible through the power of technology, which enables everyone to be self-sufficient, ultimately establishing sustainable communities.
So during this TYCA program, we learned about United Nations initiative called Sustainable Development Goals. Since we believe that education and the access of technology greatly affects the people's standard of living and the quality of life, we decided to work on number 1, no poverty, and number 4, quality education, among those 17 goals. So we set a mission, which is to provide all the underprivileged people with equal access to opportunities in our society, regardless of their circumstances, and to help the other underprivileged with their needs, as well as providing opportunities to ultimately reduce the gap that inhibits our societal development. So we identified the underprivileged youth issues are 1, affordability to necessary educational equipment, 2, the lack of interest amongst youth themselves toward education, and 3, the lack of knowledge in general. So we needed something that is affordable and something that is fun and intriguing, so that youth would be interested in furthering higher education, and something that is accessible through technological means.
That is why we thought of the idea of a circus, is because a circus is a travel company. So we thought of this idea because of traveling. Now, a circus program is one that travels places to places, but for our program, we're going to focus on like a lower income group, and we're also going to create like innovative, fun booths to interest them. And the venue is going to be in schools and community halls in the lower income group. I use the word low income because it kind of describes poverty in a way. And our target is youth because like what Hafid said, they have huge potential to become someone in the future, depending on their interest. This project will also be funded through possible tech sponsorships and universities because of so they can provide us the technology we need. So for example, these are like an example of the booths. Let's just say in that booth there's going to be flying drones, something that interests them. And this project is also good because it's not a scheduled program where they have to wait and see what they want, but where they have to wait to see what they want, but instead they can roam around to see what actually interests them. This is a newsletter, a weekly newsletter where we're going to publish it weekly. It's a way to maintain their interest and to keep them motivated to pursue their possible career choices. And let's just say in that side there's going to be like facts and something along the lines of 3 steps of success in that side. And we're also going to keep them updated with news about technology that's interesting, like for example, sideways elevator. Now in the back page there's going to be like a fun section or like a kid section where they can play like a game, like word puzzles. They can also read comics that only comes in this newsletter to keep them busy.
This program needs to sustain itself, and one way to achieve this is by having the initial funding from tech companies, and then as we execute the program, more students will be given opportunities to achieve a higher level of education. And with that, it would lead them to a professional career, possibly in those tech companies, but what's most important is that they can recontribute back to their communities.
Yeah, the next, the come of program is an affection into the people's life to become sustainable. The so-called festival understood the culture to begin technology approaches to support the potential of across to technology. And open more opportunity, the highest education to the across to support themselves. Includes the day server and to influence the community.
Before we end, I would like to thank all the organizers and sponsors for giving us this opportunity. It has been an enlightening and insightful experience, and one we will cherish forever. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vicky, for an excellent presentation.